America's Next Top Model, ANTM, has long been a popular reality TV series, known for its high-fashion photo shoots, intense competition, and drama-filled episodes. But recently, former contestants have begun to speak out, revealing the traumatizing and dark side of the show. Behind the glitz and glamour, there are stories of emotional distress, manipulation, and mistreatment that paint a far different picture than what viewers saw on TV. One of the biggest revelations has been the emotional toll the show took on its contestants. The competitive nature of ANTM was often portrayed as fierce, with contestants expected to fight for their place in the competition week after week. However, many former contestants have shared that the pressure was much greater than what was shown on camera. Contestants were often subjected to harsh critiques, unrealistic beauty standards, and emotional manipulation by the producers. Many have claimed that the environment on set was toxic, with some even describing it as emotionally abusive. Former contestants like Elise Sewell from Season 1 and others have opened up about how they were subjected to intense psychological pressure during their time on the show. For many of the contestants, the emotional toll didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. Sewell, in particular, discussed how the show's producers pushed her to her limits, creating conflict and drama for the sake of ratings. The contestants were often given little support and were expected to cope with the intense pressure on their own. Another disturbing aspect of ANTM was how the show sometimes played on the contestants' insecurities for entertainment. Some contestants have spoken about how they were pressured to behave in ways that were outside of their comfort zones in order to create drama or conflict for the cameras. This often included exaggerated storylines about their personal lives, such as fake rivalries or relationships, all of which were designed to make the show more entertaining. Contestants were often manipulated into saying or doing things that weren't true, leading to long-lasting psychological effects. In addition to emotional manipulation, ANTM also created unrealistic standards of beauty and body image. While the show featured women of different ethnicities, it was still overwhelmingly focused on a very narrow standard of beauty, often promoting tall, thin, and conventionally attractive women. Many contestants have shared how the pressure to fit this mold negatively impacted their self-esteem and mental health. Some even described how they were criticized for their bodies, and how the show made them feel as though they weren't enough unless they conformed to these unrealistic expectations. The trauma didn't end after the show either. Many contestants have shared how they were left to deal with the fallout of being on a reality show without proper support. While ANTM helped launch the careers of some of its winners, for others, it left them struggling with mental health issues and a damaged sense of self-worth. The show's editing sometimes painted contestants in an unfair light, leaving them with a negative public image that was hard to shake off. Some have revealed that they faced backlash from the public and, in some cases, even lost out on job opportunities because of the way they were portrayed. Another dark side of the show was the way it treated its contestants behind the scenes. Many contestants have shared that they were subjected to long hours of filming, poor living conditions, and harsh treatment from the staff. For example, it was common for contestants to be kept awake for long periods of time, pushed to their physical and mental limits in order to make it appear as though they were fighting for their spot on the show. Contestants also described being placed in uncomfortable or unsafe situations, such as being asked to shoot in dangerous locations or wearing revealing clothing without proper guidance or care. The recent revelations about the dark side of America's Next Top Model have prompted many to reconsider the legacy of the show. While it gave rise to many successful careers in the modeling industry, it also left a lasting negative impact on many of its contestants. The emotional and physical toll that the show took on its participants cannot be ignored, and many are now questioning the ethics of reality television as a whole. The conversation surrounding the show has brought attention to the mistreatment of contestants on reality TV, with many now advocating for more support and respect for those who choose to participate in these competitions. As former contestants continue to share their stories, it's becoming clear that America's Next Top Model was not all about the glitz and glamour it portrayed on screen. The show's troubling dark side has left lasting scars on many of its contestants, and as the industry moves forward, there's hope that these revelations will lead to more accountability and change in how reality television treats its participants. The journey for the contestants of ANTM was often much harder than it seemed, and their stories deserve to be heard.